Hey, it's episode number 32. Whoa, extreme close up. You didn't like that. That's better.
Hey,
There we go. Our podcast. We're talking about when something drives you mad, and then just laugh about it. Ironically,
yeah.
the drilling outside your house has just stopped.
Well, now we've got the hammer going on there. So
I can't hear it. I can't hear it. So there may be some interesting disruptions. Angie's not on. She's not doing this live from an airport. He's just doing it live from roadworks today. Yeah.
yes, this is it. This is exactly what is happening. Ironically, just the time we need to record it, right?
Yeah, that was good timing. They finished that good.
And this is the thing. One of the reasons why we came up with the topic. What do you do when something drives you mad? Because literally a few seconds ago, I could not hear Matt talking to me. And I was like, this is just crazy. What are we gonna do? And the best option for this kind of situation is just laugh.
It is, and it's I think it's Stress Awareness Month in April.
It is. It is. So how can we deal with stress when something literally just drives us bonkers? You know.
Wow. First of all, you've got to know when it's happening. I can see my stress bags under my eyes. I think I've had a bit of a stressful few months, to be honest. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. And then I think worked out a few things, so that's good as well. And there's still a few things to work out.
I do believe that holding the knowledge, knowing that everything what is happening right now is just a temporary situation, takes the pressure away from the situation that we are in, and allows us just to take a step back and just think, okay, this shall pass. We've heard this, everywhere, but it's not about hearing it, it's about applying it into our life. And I personally, I'm Aries, right? You're Aries too.
All my life I've been Aries.
Yes. Well, occasionally I'm Taurus because I'm from the cusp. So, But anyway, what I'm into is
after mine. What's going on about? So I must be nearly a Taurus as well.
Well, the thing is, you see, it's horns anyway, right? There we go. Here we go again, right? It's literally throwing me off right now.
You're doing great. You're doing great. It's just interesting.
Thank you very much.
Watch.
Do you? Can you just
outside your house?
Oh, exactly. I can react quite strongly at first.
Yeah.
It's this impulsive part of my character, my nature. And sometimes I have to explode in order to retract so I can relax.
Yeah.
And do you know what? This is the thing, I do believe that we are being told, just to calm down, to be responsive. And this is all great, But in some cases, or with some characteristics, with some personalities, this explosive reaction is a form of release.
Yeah.
And we have to accept this as a part of us and allow it to happen. Because if you can explode and then you can take a step back and then you can actually respond. If this is the way you deal with things, it's all fine, right? It's just about teaching all the environment, teaching people, educating people about that it's not personal. It's just the way how you deal with the emotions, strong emotions. So that's my personal experience, and I suppose my personal explanation of how I go about it, because this is how I react sometimes. In many situations, I can respond, but if something triggers me very strongly, I can react. And when I react, I previously didn't like it, and I thought there was something wrong with me, that I cannot be responsive all the time. Whereas now I understand that this is just part of me, which in order to deal with as best as I can is accepting it. Yeah. And that shortens the explosive power and intensity of my reaction. And then I'm able to respond and deal with the stress much better. And what, like we just put it in the title, I started laughing at my, explosiveness now and then, because that helps me to relax the situation, but not only within me, but in the environment that I'm in. So the laughter is just like superpower, in my opinion, because it just helps you to deal with the self-judgment as well, which I find, because quite often is not that situation is no okay. Rewind that. Situation can trigger us and we can be reactive, but there must be some trigger within us ourselves. So we really are not angry with the situation, we're angry with ourselves. Right?
Yeah, that's a really good point.
So, and we tend to project this anger on everybody around, because this is how it goes. It goes in and it goes out. And I think it's quite healthy to understand the whole process in order to to create like a healthy habit of dealing with it. That can be beneficial not only for you but also for everybody who is in your surrounding. I hope that does make sense, because
it does. Yeah, I think it's really good explanation, real honest as well, because I think I'm quite like that. I think sometimes it's like a spring, isn't it? So this spring's being compressed and compressed, and it can only go so far. And then when you're in that spring's under extreme stress now.
Yeah.
It just has to boom out, explode, as you said, explode out. And I think, I think when we understand it's happening, then it makes. I think it's good that what you said, because we do need to be able to like release whatever like giving us that tension somehow, and sometimes it might be quite hard to see, well, how do I get out of this situation? And sometimes when that explosive thing is, you exhaust that part that's stressing, you can exhaust that part of your brain, and I think that's why then, as you said, like for me, I'll see it a bit differently, and I've overreacted there. Well, not overreact, because I don't think you can overreact. I think sometimes that's quite an unfair term. It's like you have just reacted, but it's like a system now. And now for me personally, I can start to think of the solution that I need to solve that problem. I think a good example, like it's actually a few years back when it was the pandemic came, and it's like, oh my God, it was highly stressful for me as a business owner, and having people I'm responsible for my employees. So and then at the same time, I'm worrying about myself. So it's really conflicting. I'm worried about my staff and how am I going to, make sure they're happy. Worried about the clients because I knew it was going to mess with their mental health. So it's just then, obviously the money. Am I going to be able to afford to live? I've not long moved, so my rent had gone up. It's like, oh, flipping heck, just got somewhere, and so it's there's all these little things around. So I remember getting quite upset talking to the staff, and right now I know. Then when it was out my system, right, what can I do? How can I have right? I can do this for the my clients. We'll just give free classes. I'll do this every day. With my children, I was worried about not seeing them because I didn't know what was going to happen. That right now I can see them half the week. So you start to pick off one at a time the solutions to it. Staff, like I don't want them on 80% furloughed wage. So can I afford to do the full wage? Yeah, I can do it for there. It went on longer than what I thought, but I'm so glad I did that. So all the staff were paid full wage, and throughout the whole pandemic. So I started to chip off the things from there. But yeah, at the time, oh my God, I was really worried because like the business is going to go down. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of people it would affect. And then even from your client, like with your clients, Ange, it's like if something happens today, yeah, someone can go and find someone else, but you've kind of built that up, and that, yeah, you know what I mean, right?
I do.
Yeah. And that's one example. And other times, like this year has just been so. I can't remember it's been highly stressful. But if I go back 10 years, I was going for it again in a different way. So sometimes when you are going for it, it does pass, and you do find a way out, like you said, and react or respond, and however we're going to do it, and but it also toughens you up a little bit. because it's going to happen again. Something's going to stress me out in the future.
Mm.
I don't know. Let's say I didn't have to worry about. There's always something to worry about. Put it that way. Not like go around trying to find things to worry about, but there'll always be something. And it could be, life could be just flowing along and everything's fine. To think about this, that, the other, but then something in life can happen outside of our control, a bit like a pandemic, for crying out loud, or unfortunately, maybe a friend or family member pass away or something, and that's stressful. Moving at the moment, that's stressful. There's all these little things, so there's always going to be something, but it does pass. I think it does. You don't feel it at the time, but it toughens you up. And I think also those things, they make you much, like how you've said there, it's like you're much more aware of how you respond or you react. So I think that's really important, because you understand then when it's happening. And it's not like you can control things like that fully, and you're accepting, we accept that this is what happens, because there's no point feeling something negative about how we may or may not respond or react, because things have happened to me where I've been stressed and I've reacted, and oh my god, this person's driving me crazy doing that, and it's done now, so can't change it. Do you know what I mean?
Really, but what you can change but what you can change is just approach to yourself. That self-awareness, I think it's something what comes with experience, I would say, and the willingness to understand how we operate as individuals. And I'm just gonna go back for a second to the word that finally, I think, triggered you. I might be wrong, the overreacting word. That it might be, I don't know, labeled wrong. But to be fair, when you said overreacting, I automatically felt like, do you know what it means? It means that you experience stresses which you don't express on a regular basis. You don't release them, like the spring concept, right? And it just adds up and adds up and adds up and adds up, and then it takes only this one thing, right, which will cause you to explode, which we can call overreaction, because it's going to be an accumulation for all of those triggers that you have not released before. Therefore, all of those things that will come up to the surface will be much stronger than as if you were just releasing them on a regular basis.
Like the tiny feather fell on the spring. Seems like nothing. Right. I said this, or I only did that. It's like,
and that happens in life.
It's going down.
You've heard this concept, bottling things up.
Right?
I have a black belt in bottling things up, right? And for me, it's one of the life lessons. One of the things that I'm learning is expressing my feelings, how I feel. And if there's, sometimes you might think that there is something that it doesn't sit right with you, but you're not going to say anything because probably it's not important. But after a while, you start realizing that those little triggers and those little signs that your body gave you, like, that didn't sit well with me, you should express straight away. Clear it, right? And then move on. And I'm only now at my age of 40. I only now know that I have to express those things, freely, which also teaches me to communicate. I think this is the massive thing, that especially in modern world, that people do not communicate well, right? And I think I've been on the other side. I am sometimes on the other side when I don't communicate clearly for many reasons, for different reasons. But I am aware of how my body operates, how I operate, and I have more respect towards myself, because when something comes up, instead of actually now judging myself for things showing up, I actually started laughing, and I'm thinking, ha ha ha, here we go again, she's overreacting. So I'm actually making joke out of myself, and this is something what I've just learned very recently. I don't talk to myself in first person. I talk to myself in the third person. You overacted again. And you know why? Because when me and many people who I've spoken to, The self-talk that we practice is the most critical, sometimes the most horrible talk we can ever produce. We would not be able to speak like that to the third person. We would not be so nasty. So using the third person form to communicate with ourselves is actually like taking the foot off the gas pedal, and it allows this space that it's like you have a buffer of time to think what you're going to say. It's just funny exercise, very easy exercise, but it happens, just instantly. And I tend to use it now as like, oh, you funny thing. And like where previously I would say, what the fuck have you done? What the fuck have I done? In that form, I would be much harsher. And so I do like, learning all of those little, just tricks and applying them into my own life, because we're not perfect, right? Nobody is. And I think that's perfect. But I'm learning all of those little tricks, and I am learning to look at life as a game. So even though the things can trigger you, you can escalate with your emotions. If you understand that it's just the only game, and in order to win the game, you need to learn how to balance yourself out, and the speed is the winning factor. Then you start looking at things, just slightly different. And I like playing this game. I really do. Obviously, when my emotions are heightened and escalated, I don't give a shit about the game, right? Let's be honest. But the volume and the pressure and the temperature goes down much faster. So then I have access to those wise words, just in that wisdom that allows me to take it even a step further and deal with the situation, the way I would like to deal with.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'm going to mention that. I just channeled this, when you're 40, you channel a lot of things.
No, it's interesting, and I relate to loads of what you said. And I mean, I've thought, I suppose, where there's loads of stuff going on, and it has kind of, I wouldn't say triggered where I was, say 10 years ago, but I think we go through many lifetimes. I know I'm not the same person then, or the same person where I was 20 years ago, not even the same person I was 5 years ago, to be fair.
So not even last week.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I got another wrinkle since last week, I'm sure of it.
Well done.
Yeah.
But
look like for those on the podcast, I've just tightened my face up. I might do that. No. Yeah, I think I've also it's given me time to reflect a lot this last month or so, and think about, which I do often anyway, and I think, how could I have done that better, and how was that, and whatever. And I just think that's quite important. But I think when you can laugh at yourself or laugh at the situation, it takes a bit of an edge, because it's, at the end of the day, I guess it's the same. Your body's doing the same stuff. You need to release that tension. I can still feel it up here, like around my neck. It's still not quite there, and it's just knowing those signs. And I think I've said before on interviews or whatever, and I'm trying to think how long this is within the last 10 years. And I used to push my tongue up into my teeth, and it looked like on my tongue here that I like bit into my tongue. There was like real big print of teeth marks. And when I went to the dentist, I said I must have bit it. I was just worried about getting an infection. And he got me to move my mouth back. He said, "Are you quite stressed at the moment?" I said, "Yeah, it's got loads going on." He said, "That's what you're doing. You're pushing your tongue up into your teeth." I was just looking at little signs, like little aches. They're not always from, just hard day's work or a hard workout. There's maybe something else is going on. And as years ago, going back maybe 8-9 years ago, I was just so tired. Definitely 10 years ago, I was exhausted. I was going for a lot of exhaustion. It probably from the beginning of the year. I remember we went over to the States, me and my my instructor, to kind of find out about fitness kickboxing, basically. And I come back. I was exhausted when I went. I come back, and I just felt like for weeks I was just on this boat. You know, if you got, when you get off a boat and you still feel like you're on a boat.
Yeah.
I felt that for weeks. Oh my God, I was just so exhausted, and and by then though, the spring was like here. It just pushed down, and that's what I wanted to say. You know, you said about bottling up. So I never used to talk about feelings and emotions so much. Keep a lot. I didn't talk to friends, didn't talk to family, didn't talk to my boy's mum, you know, my wife at the time. And then so in the last 10 years, I've been learning how to do that, and I know I'm better at it because my poor mum, she's my little therapist. So I've got better at it, but again, it's been a learning thing because, like, sometimes you know, like you said, do you say it there in the moment? Do I let it go? And I think sometimes we go out of balance from one way, so it can be like this. So it's off balance, then we go like this, and then eventually it might go like this, and then eventually, you know, we find a way forward. So yeah, I think laughter is definitely a good medicine, even if you don't feel like what. Grab a comedy, just put some comedy on.
I think thank you for sharing, you know, your personal feelings and experiences. I think for everyone who is listening, they can resonate with at least a part of, you know, our personal journeys. Yeah. For me, for example, if I share a little bit of mine, and I think I only understand now why I was wired the way I was, because I was interested in the human behavior and human patterns where they are being created, especially when I was and still do learn a lot how our brain and behaviors, you know, are created from the mindset coaching. And not only that, personally, as a kid, I was told, this is one of the old sayings, especially kids of 80s, that kids and fish don't have voice.
Oh, so, yeah. I've not heard that one, but children should be seen and not heard.
Yeah. So we could not express what we had to say.
Yeah.
And then because of my, childhood and bringing up, I was the one who was a sounding board, not the one who was expressing the feelings and emotions. Therefore, I was the one who was taking on them, never putting anything out. And I think, you know, I carried that, you know, for so many years. And if we talk about spirituality, you know, those who understand chakras, my throat chakra was completely blocked.
Yeah.
I could not voice things out.
Yeah.
Right. So now it's different because I understand it. And there is a power in understanding the pattern, because when you understand where things are coming from, it's not about blaming where they came from. It's about understanding and releasing them. And when you do that, then you're actually freeing yourself, and you are at the point where you can make decisions how you want things to be from now onwards. And I think one of the things, especially if you are perfectionist, you think like things can change, 180 within a day. This is, in my opinion, very hurting concept. And what I mean by that, if you're not going to allow yourself this transition period of, okay, so this is the moment when I'm realizing how things are, how I'm reacting to things. I know where they are being rooted, where they started. So from now on, because I know this from here, I'm perfect. I'm not going to be reacting anymore, right? And this is how I want it to be. All well and good. But the thing is that's not going to happen, because we are creatures of habits. And it happens automatically. So if you're going to see, and you will, that you're still reacting to certain situations, and you start judging yourself and noticing that you're still reacting, then you're going to keep yourself on a loop of doing the same thing till the end of your life.
Yeah.
So the only way to break the pattern is just like I said earlier, notice that you reacted again, and just like, oh, there you are again, just laugh at it, and that will take the pressure away and will help you to change the pattern. And eventually you're going to be more responsive, less reactive, and it's going to be so much easier to deal with stress, because you will be much less triggered. You're going to create new pathways, neural paths, in your body that will be responding differently to what you practice for so long. So,
mic drop.
Right, mic drop.
Perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. And so definitely, I think you're absolutely right. I think when you understand why you're being triggered in a way, and you know what, even some stuff that's happened recently, I had to understand why that was affecting me that way. I don't need to, but I think acknowledging it is really important. So yeah.
So do you know what? I think in every situation there is a piece of wisdom, you know.
Oh yeah.
And you can all. That's not that I always do that, but I'm trying to do it as much as I can. Ask myself question: what's in the situation for me? How can I benefit from it?
Yeah.
Because you know we spoke about silver lining on so many occasions, you know, and that the yin and yang concept, you know, there is just there is always something positive we can find it only if we want to. So even those, you know, outbursts of energy, you know, when you feel like it's all, you know, doom and gloom because you became the worst version of yourself, like blah, like a devil. Right, maybe the fact that you finally had opportunity, occasion to release all of that, you know, just accumulated energy is a positive thing. If you can look at it that way.
Yep.
Not judge it. I've heard this beautiful concept, which I love. I don't remember who said it. Sadhguru. Yeah. Sadhguru said,
Yeah.
it's not mistake to make mistake. Okay. This is a learning process. Mistake is to think that you made mistake. Is a mistake. And just feeling bad about it. You made mistake. Okay. So what you're gonna do next with this situation? You're not gonna make mistake. You know, you've learned from it. You just move forward. But when you keep beating up on yourself for making mistake, that's the biggest mistake.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
like, things happen, and I'm very much. Do you know what? Let's just give it a go. Let's do this. Let's try it out. It's gonna work, not work. Even some last year, some of the stuff I've been doing, maybe not, you know, what I thought it was going to be, and that's all right. And it does creep in my head. I think, oh, should I do this? Yeah, no, I am. No, I got to do this, but if it feels right, do it. If you're not sure, I think unless you got some adverse thing, you know, against that. But obviously weigh up pros and cons. I'm probably quite risk adverse. I need to change that a little bit. I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
But the thing is you just know you take a risk. I think this is what life is about. It's about living, and for me, living contains the element of taking a risk because it's something what makes your heartbeat go up. You know what I mean? You know, when you're very stagnant. I will compare it to the heart reading, right? When you see it on the screen, okay, it's just like goes up and down, and all of those spikes you could say they signify some sort of like increased energy, excitement, you name it. You will have drops as well, right? But that's what life is. What happens when it's steady? You're dead.
Boring.
You're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
You literally did. So it's a part of life that we're gonna have ups and downs. And if making mistake creates the spike up, it's quite obvious that you're gonna drop down at some point. But the less you beat up on yourself for dropping down, the faster you come back up.
Also, when you do fall once, the second time it's easier to get back up again.
Of course. And this is the learning process which we are learning all our life. And as you can see, even with this, heartbeat thing, for as long as you live, you have ups and downs. So you might as well just learn to deal with it.
So, and what things do you do consciously that will help kind of reduce stress, whether you got stress or not? Because I think it's important to maintain certain things. Because I'm feeling stressed at the moment, but I'm not like this all the time. So it's understand, like with that pattern I know I must follow. Or in times.
I'll tell you what helps me immensely, and that's my number one tool. And it's a very simple tool, but yet so effective and so powerful that it changes my vibrational state, my emotional state, like immediately, especially when I practice it every day. It's gratitude. By far the best, the easiest one, and you can do it everywhere. Because the thing is, you see, we spoke about the concept, we might be having 10 things, right? Right. Yeah. 9 things are not working out.
By the way.
And 1 is working out. Yeah. And if you focus on this one that is working out, the older 9 will change. They will really change, because first of all, your perception will change. Your attractive power. If we're talking about law of attraction, we are all vibrational beings. We are vibrating the energy. Whatever you put out, you get back, right? And if you focus on this positive thing, meaning that you're going to increase your vibration, you're going to change your emotional state, your signal will be different. So all of those things that were out of whack will start falling into place because they are part of you. But if you have 10 things and 9 things are working and 1 is not working, and you focus on that 1, you will do this, you will destroy the other 9. So sometimes there might be something what I'm working on and it's not working. So I'm thinking, I'm not going to think about this, and I'm not going to try to think about this in a positive way, because that drives me crazy. I'm going to focus on something different, but it's what is easy for me to think about, that I am grateful for. And that helps me to change my emotional state, you know, because you can't bang things into place, you know. You can't. You have to allow them, you know, just to fall into place. You have to let it go. Very hard concept for Aries, right? Let it go. I'm going to show them, huh? You have to, if you want to be the one who has the voice and has positive impact on others, because I do believe we all, you know, want to have a positive impact in the world. Sometimes people just don't know how to do it. When you allow yourself, you know, just to let go and understand that, you know, you're good. You don't have to fight for yours, right? You're good and you deserve the best. You know, things will fall into place. Just allow it to happen. You know, change your emotional state. Just enjoy the moment right now. Just be in the moment, because in the end of the day, this is the only moment you have. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is not promised to anybody. So what do you have? Is now. So do you want to waste this time on being angry? Or do you want to just make the most of it? And if you can just allow yourself to let it go, I know sometimes it's easier said than done, but you have now this in your head. You are aware of it, and you can always pick this thought at any time, okay, and apply it. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And then before you know it, you're still going to be triggered, but it's going to be less often, and it will be for a shorter period of time. So it's going to be easier for you to deal with the stress, smile much more, and be who you're meant to be, the happy person. And I don't know if you agree with this or not, you know, just because I've seen so much of this on the internet. Like people say, oh, this positivity, you know, concept, like being always positive and always happy, this is screwed up. This is not how people live. This is not realistic. And I'm thinking, really, have you ever tried it? And it's not about, you know, just smiling when someone is beating you up. That's not what I'm saying. But finding positive in a negative situation, something what helps you to deal with the emotions, to release the stress, is positive thing, right? So look at it from that kind of perspective. Not that positive thing is only the smiley stuff. It's the lesson that you've learned is also a positive thing, even if it was painful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's just understanding, and I think perception, but we are all entitled to have our own vision, you know, wear our own glasses. And
yeah, exactly. We're all at different parts. So like, I guess it depends the shoes we've walked in, and like you said, the glasses that we wear.
Yeah.
And as we know, no one pair of glasses is going to be the same. So
no, and sometimes they can be dirty, you know.
Yeah, but it will be.
That's like clean your lenses.
But no, it's not ever going to be the same. And I think I'm one of a really great book I love reading. It was The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and it really made me think. I'm going to have to get back on there actually at some point. A lot, you know, he talks about communication and but seeing the world, it's still very difficult to see the world for someone else's eyes. and I think you posted something the other day, actually, Ange. Going off on one. Anyway, it's to do with, like, you can't, some people want to change, some don't, but just, if we focus on ourselves, then people are either going to be inspired to do the same, or it's, you know, they're not, and that's that. You can't do much about it.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's teaching and leading by example.
Yeah.
And I do strongly believe in that. That I'm big on being authentic. You know that very well. You know, and therefore, you know, I'm so transparent with all of my own hardships and whatever I went through, whatever I'm dealing with right now. Because, like I said, we are never done. We're always learning something. Because I do believe that if I can show people how I'm applying it to my own life and how I'm screwing up sometimes, still, right, it gives people hope that they don't have to be perfect in the process, and that even those people who are teaching how to do it, they still experiencing those things. You know, it's just, like I said, the volume and the amount of it will decrease, but your approach to it will be completely different. So you won't even see it that way. You know, and I think, you know, this is something what I love learning that every day. And funny enough, I actually enjoy screwing up sometimes, because I'm learning again the new tools, or I'm just like having the gentle reminders, like, you know, just we have to just change the approach here. But like I said, life is a game. If you can look at it that way, it's so much easier, you know. And I just do believe, you know, just if you can show it rather than just say it, then words don't teach, experiences do, right? Or they say what actions speak louder than words.
Louder than words, definitely. Words. That's what you say to me. Words are really important. Though. So we have to be careful what we say, how we say it, and if you say you're going to do it, well, actions speak louder. So it's good to observe sometimes, anyway, because we can really, you know, especially when we're stressed, we can jump in with all kinds of things. When that spring is pushed tightly shut, and you know it's about to go. And it can be that little thing that's going to make it explode. And sometimes, and often, that's stuff that's going on in our head. Because I know when I'm highly stressed, my brain does go into overdrive, and it's this, and it's just knowing a safe place to exhaust that out. This is the chimp paradox. Exhaust that chimp out a little bit. If you've got to explode, but you know, controlled. And but for me, that's why I like to train, because I can clear my head out. Some of the tension away in my body, you know, from the spring. And often, whilst I'm training, I'll just my eyes. I know I can feel it happening. My eyes will just go off. I might stop for a bit, not you know, stop. But it's like I slow down, and it's I can do this, and I can start to almost connect the wire back again into right. I can do it this way. So often when I'll come up with different ideas, but that's my thing. Obviously, you know, we all got to find our own, you know, thing for that. But just I think that blast out, it just takes, it exhausts me. And it's just, right, I'm tired now. So now I can.
So put it in a simple concept, which I do believe many people will understand. Like when you are getting angry and something frustrates you and you don't express it, think about it in form of energy, right? The type of energy you're charging your body with. So you are being overloaded with energy that is not serving you. Every cell in the body is overloaded with lies. You actually, you know, you're actually releasing this energy in a very positive way, because whatever you do, it requires energy. So it's the same form.
Sorry, Ange, for any emotion, though, it's not, you know, because stress isn't just about anger, is it? You know, it can be just, I'm emotional at the moment. I'm sad, or I'm this, or I'm that, or it can be you're extremely happy. So it's, sorry to interrupt. It was just,
that's okay. You know, pattern interrupt, huh? But what I was leading to was I was talking about the negative side of it, right? I've seen it. Peripheral vision, you know. It's just how to deal with in those stressful situations. You know, sometimes it's just this is the best thing you can do. You know, other times it could be just like disconnecting from everybody, like any source of like additional information that makes you feel even more overloaded. meaning just leave the phone at home and just go for a walk.
Yes, I've had to do that a few. Just, do you know what? Today is a no contact with anyone day.
You have to reset.
People, yeah, it does upset people, but you know, it's a little boundary I've got to set for a few hours a day or two. And what I found, because sorry, Angie, it just reminded me, like going back again when I was really going for the worst time of mental health. I went inward, and I was trying so hard to talk about feelings, and then it means it again is part of the balance for me. So if you really need that day to yourself, and what I say to myself is, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to pick this back up.
Yeah,
and I do. Sometimes I just need to go through that dippy bit. It's not nice though, and I know people can maybe like close to me will worry or and stuff, but it's part of my process. I feel to get myself.
Many people, go through that. It's good to understand how you operate, and educating those who are around you how you operate what helps you to to reset yourself and then come back in the version of yourself you like to present to others.
Yeah, and actually, where I can reflect and think, well, actually, what was, how can I work this out? How can I resolve it? Every situation is different, I think, as well, because there's other times, again, let's say with a pandemic, I was upset. I thought, right, how can I sort this out? And fight, whatever I got to do. So it's there's a time to step back and pause, see what's going on, and there's a time when it's like, nah, I ain't got time to stop and just need to go. We had a roof leak. That's it. The roof leaked at the academy just as we come back. I was like, oh my God, can't believe this is happening. I remember the team saying, look like you're about to cry. I said I was, but I just had to move. I just had to get those mats off the floor upstairs onto the outdoors, because in the pandemic, in 2020, it was real. The weather was just amazing, right, for the whole year. Just had this one day of rain and the roof leaked. Then we had a pipe burst. It was a month later, and the whole ceiling was raining, and it was just And I remember, this just brought back some nice memories. I remember looking around, seeing all the team that had come in and their partners best mates, next door neighbor. And I just thought, wow, I'm so lucky. We've got such a great team here. We are, obviously I'm closer to some more than others, and others are closer to each other more than others. It's fine. But as a unit, everyone had the same purpose, right? Let's get this sorted. So it would have been easy to, have a breakdown. But the lesson was, and I remember laughing about it by the end, trying to find the freaking, where the hell the water off. We was like looking it took up 2 hours to find it. So, but like you said, in every situation, there's a lesson. I thought, oh God, I'm gonna have to buy new mats. I'm gonna have to do this, but you find a way. And for me, that was time of, right, I just got to move. I got to do something. I don't care. That can go upstairs, and it was that movement, because there's times when I think, right, if I want to cry, I'll cry later. So I got to. The moment gets picked when the moment needs to be picked. That's me personally. So.
And that's, it's great that you understand how you operate. Yeah. And that's a superpower.
Yeah. So that's what it is. So when I take that step back, it's like, I need a rest. I need to take a break now. Don't get me wrong, though. If a disaster came, I know I'm ready to. I'm into it, because I got all that tension. So I need that energy to. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's from training. I don't know, but I think my mind has changed a lot over the adult life of, teaching and coaching and doing martial arts. So it's knowing that there's always something within me. But I need to take a rest. So it's getting it, the balance. Right now I'm tired, right? But if the disaster happens, I know I can respond and do what I need to do, and I can cry later on. It's every situation we know is different, of course.
But then again, any type of stress you're going through right now is okay. Let me just pick the words wisely. You chosen them with awareness.
Yeah, definitely.
right? Because you see the bigger picture, you see the light at the end of the tunnel, even though it's not the tunnel and it's not the light. You know why you're doing things you're doing, right?
It's just at the moment, sorry, you reminded me. So a mentor said to me, "It's like, is it a light at a tunnel or is it a freight train heading straight for you?" But it's being aware of that as well, because that is important. So if you feel like it is a freight train, it's that you can still do something to step out of the way and maybe go the other direction if you need to. And that's basically where I'm just going to be making some changes. Hopefully, some changes that will resolve some of the thing. And I'm just overloaded and I'm trying to spin all these different plates again. So I need to just ease back on a few things. And it's not right. It means something didn't work out how I wanted it to work out, but I've learned loads from it. Great. It's definitely. Sorry, interrupt you again.
Can I point something out?
Yes, go ahead.
Why do you say sorry so often?
Because I like to. Because I don't like interrupting people.
Interesting. And
I'm afraid I'm going to have to finish up soon. I've got my mastermind in a bit.
Well, it was great to have this chat with you today, and I hope, guys who are watching, if anything resonates with you, share your thoughts with us. Share this episode and other episodes as well with friends and with family who you think would benefit from it. And if you can give us a 5-star review, that would be even more amazing. We would really appreciate that. But please share your thoughts with us. And if you're watching it from replay, just put hashtag replay. We want to find out who is watching it from the replay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely. We're back next week, right?
We are. Hold on. This hand. Okay. That's the thing. That's the StreamYard thing. Yeah.
No. Still can't work this freaking angle out.
That's StreamYard.
5 now, look.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
That
makes any sense.
Think.
You reversed on the camera. Never mind.
Almost. No, it's my eyes. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. I understand everything we need to say. So, peace, love,
and God bless.